Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I am down here at the Dugout Bait and Tackle, my favorite shop in the country in Marietta, Georgia. Y'all know that all of my rigging I get done here. They rig boats all across the country. Guys from Washington, Maine, California, bringing their stuff here to get it rigged because they do the best job. So in addition to rigging, they also sell high-end bait and tackle, and these guys are like family to me. I know a lot of y'all have called them. You know Jamie spends time on the phone talking you through everything, talking about fishing. They're good people and they do great work. So while I'm down here, I thought I would address one of the most frequent questions that I get, and it's when you're looking at kayaks, what kayak is the right one? Where should you look? What model is gonna fit your needs? And I'm gonna stay within the Hobie brand because that is my brand. I love Hobie. I've been with them for a long time. Even though I've had options to go different directions, I stay there because I truly believe that they offer the best product right now on the market because of their drive. It's unique to only Hobie, and the variety of product that they offer. And just real quick, I don't want to try to pump the Hobie brand too much, but the biggest reason why I love it and why I've stuck with it is their pedal drive system. It is unique, whereas a lot of other brands have the prop style where you're pedaling like this. Y'all, I've seen how those drives handle in vegetation or super shallow water. You have to pull the drive. You can't really do that in heavy vegetation. The way I fish, the way that suits my fishing styles, I do fish really shallow. I fish a lot of rivers. I fish around a lot of grass. I'm a power fisherman. The Hobie Mirage Drive is the best system out there for that. So that is why I love that brand. I love the drive. It's comfortable, it's ergonomically friendly. The only thing you're losing there is not having instant reverse, and I truly don't feel like that ever puts me at a disadvantage. So without further ado, let's get into the Hobie line. So we're gonna start in their entry-level kayaks, work their way up, and I'm gonna talk you through the different models that they offer. Dugout carries all of them. They've got a pond right out back. If you wanna come and demo these models, the guys will be happy to put you in one. But I'm gonna help kind of take you through my approach to how I qualify people as to what kayak would fit their needs and why. All right, guys, let's start off with their entry-level kayak. We're gonna talk about the Passport. They came out with the Passport a couple of years ago, and they did this to give people a great price point option as an introductory kayak into their brand and into their line. The Passport comes in two different sizes. You've got a 10.5 and then a 12-foot option. The 10's obviously gonna be just a little bit lighter. I believe that starts at like 65 pounds, which is super light for those of you that are looking for a really, really lightweight kayak. And then the 12-foot kayak, I believe, starts at like 73 pounds. So still pretty dang light. These kayaks come with a standard Mirage Drive with kick-up fins, so you're safe from any obstruction. If you're taking on shallow rivers or you're fishing those stump field lakes, you're good to go with this drive. It does not come with reverse, but you are able to upgrade to that if you would like. So who is the Passport for? I would sell the Passport to somebody that's doing some recreational kayaking or even just recreational fishing, just getting into it, dipping their toes in to see if they kind of like it. Probably not your super serious angler. However, I say that, the Passport does come with some really nice features. It does have some integrated gear track. It's got space in the back for a crate, and it's got the center hatch to store some baits as well. The downsides of the Passport, it's not really equipped for your super serious angler, bringing a lot of rods, wanting a larger graph or two graphs even. Any type of gear junkie out there, I probably wouldn't recommend that. And it has a fairly basic seat on it, but coming in at under $2,000, these kayaks are priced right for people wanting to get into a Hobie that don't want to drop the cash on the higher end models just yet. In addition, if I know a lot of you that have pro anglers, buy the Passports for your kids or your significant other, somebody that wants to kind of come out and kayak with you, but it's not super concerned about having the nicest kayak or the most feature-rich kayak. They just want something that is easy and relaxing to pedal and get out there and enjoy the water. So they make a great second kayak for families or somebody like that as well. So the step up from the Passport, we're gonna talk about the Hobie Compass. The Compass comes in two different models. You've got the Compass, it's a 12-foot kayak, and then you have the Compass Duo tandem kayak for two people that's 13.5 foot long. The Compass, like the Passport, is a kayak that I like selling to people where weight is an issue. By weight, I'm talking about the whole weight, so loading and unloading the kayak. The Compass only weighs 68 pounds. So again, feather light, super easy to load on top of a vehicle, throw in the bed of the truck. Also get an upgraded drive. So as where the Passport comes with the standard drive with kick-up fins, you get the reverse feature with the Compass. The Compass is also rotomolded, so the kayak is built a little bit stronger. It's got a better seat and it has more features on the kayak. The Compass also comes with a slightly better seat. It's elevated just a little bit, so I like getting people into a Compass who are going to be out in the water longer and want just a little bit more long day comfort. So the Compass is really, really popular with a lot of your inshore guys and people fishing small rivers and creeks. Again, it's super lightweight, so it's easy to transport it. You can drag it over the beach. You can get it into these rivers and creeks where there's tough access, whereas heavier kayaks might be kind of a problem. But it's a really popular option. It's super durable, very comfortable for all day on the water. Plus has a couple of features built in for the angler. The Compass also comes in at a really, really great price point, you guys. All right, so next up, let's talk about the Hobie Lynx. This is low-key one of my absolute favorite kayaks that Hobie makes for a variety of reasons. For those of you that are familiar with the Hobie i11 or the iTrack inflatable series, the Lynx is basically the hard-bodied version of that. So it's like a blank canvas. So one of the biggest selling features of the Lynx is the weight. Y'all, it only weighs 47 pounds. It is one of the lightest kayaks that Hobie offers, and is why I love it for a lot of my river muskie fishing, because it is super easy for me to get down ravines, drop off bridges, and get and access these rivers that most people can't. I love the Lynx because it's essentially the way the hole works. It's like you're fishing on a stand-up paddleboard with pedals. So it's super comfortable. It's great for all day fishing. I love it on the rivers. I love it in a lot of different situations, inshore as well. I've even fished a couple of tournaments on the lakes on it. It's actually really stable. It's fairly fast, and it handles the wind better than some of the big water kayaks do. So the Lynx is easily one of my favorite kayaks. There's a lot of things you can do with it. You can customize it and rig it however you want. One thing I always recommend for people looking at the Lynx, buy the A-Trail accessory kit that goes along the sides of it. That way you can put your camera mount, fish finder, really gear it up however you like. That's one of the best accessories to sell on with the Hobie Lynx. And the inflatable series basically is everything I just talked about with the Lynx, except as I mentioned, they're inflatable. So they stow away in little suitcases. I have an i11 and an i9. I absolutely love them. You can fly with them anywhere, and they weigh less than 30 pounds. So they are the lightest kayak options that Hobie offers. They make adhesive mounts, rail kits that you can put on the inflatables. I'm gonna be doing that. Those are the accessories that I would sell. I recommend to anybody with those kayaks. All right, y'all, now we're getting into the serious angler, the Mac daddies of them all. Let's talk about the Outback, and then we'll get into the Pro Angler series. So I reserve the Outback and the Pro Angler for the guys and gals who are super serious into this kayak fishing thing. They love all the features. They want to be able to take a lot of gear. They want to be comfortable. They want to be able to customize and rig things out to the full potential. The Outback kind of is a mini version of a Pro Angler in terms of how feature rich it is. It has great storage. It's got a lot of built-in gear tracks. But where I would steer someone towards an Outback as opposed to a Pro Angler is when they're concerned again about weight, or they're going to be fishing in super, super skinny water and they have to paddle it very often. The Outback actually paddles really, really well. Whereas the Pro Angler, y'all, I'm going to be totally serious, that thing is super heavy to paddle around. I do it because I love the Pro Angler, but the Outback is much more conducive for paddling. So guys that are fishing like down in the Galveston Bay, South Carolina, in the marshes, they're doing some small creek and river fishing and super, super skinny water, Outback is a really good choice for those situations because it only weighs 85 pounds and the Pro Angler is much more than that. We've got a lot of guys fishing our competitive kayak series that fish out of an Outback in big water and rivers and all kinds of situations. That kayak really does accommodate a lot of people. It is for the serious angler. You can put motors on it. I mean, you can truly rig it out to be a fishing machine. It's just a little bit smaller. It's just under 13 foot long, and it doesn't have as much deck space as the Pro Angler, which we're gonna talk about now. So the Pro Angler is truly the Cadillac of kayak fishing. They come in two different sizes. You've got the PA12 12-footer and the PA14, the 14-foot version. And just for reference, you guys, I have a video dedicated specifically to the differences between a PA12 and a PA14 and pros and cons. I'm gonna link that video in the bio so you can find that as well if you wanna know the main pros and cons between those two. I'm not gonna get into that here. We're just gonna talk about the Pro Angler and who that's for. So right off the bat, you can tell in the Pro Angler that it has an amazing looking seat. This seat adjusts forward and back, up and down. It's elevated, so it's extremely comfortable. Oh, forgot to mention, on the Outback, I actually found this out at my last tournament. I saw a buddy of mine had an aftermarket riser on his Outback to elevate the seat. If I were fishing in Outback all day long, one of the reasons that I love the Pro Angler so much more is that I'm super long and super tall, and sitting that low is not as comfortable for me after a long period of time. It's a little harder on my back. But with those aftermarket risers, that puts the Outback a little bit higher up. You do have to be careful though. When you're sitting higher up, it is gonna wobble just a little bit more. The Outback is still super, super stable. It's just not as stable as the Pro Angler, so keep that in mind. So the PA12 weighs 105 pounds and the PA14 weighs 120. These are unrigged weights. So you guys can see right off the bat, these kayaks are super, super heavy. But other than that, and the fact that they really don't paddle super easily when you need them to paddle, there is not a single con, in my opinion, to getting into a Pro Angler. You've got your horizontal rod storage on both kayaks. That's gonna help you take a lot of gear. You've got so much deck space. These things are rock solid stable. They're extremely comfortable, and you're able to truly rig these things out to make them a battleship. Check out my rigging video. I'll also link that in the bio, and you can see how wild I went with mine. In addition to the Pro Angler 180, I do need to mention that they make the 360 version of that. I'm not gonna get into too much detail because I have an entire video that talks about the differences between the PA 360 and the PA 180. I will also put that in the bio. You guys can watch that. But real quick, just right off the bat, the 360 just simply means that kayak moves 360 degrees. The best maneuverability on the entire market when it comes to kayak fishing. I fish in the 360. When you're fishing in current, wind, or maneuvering about any type of obstacle, this kayak is a huge advantage. Huge. So I will always encourage people in those situations to look at getting into a 360. Now, the only other con about the Pro Angler, it is one of the most expensive kayaks on the market. So if you're just getting into the sport and you want to have a good experience, you think it's something you're really going to like, I'm a big advocate in waiting and saving your money to buy something that you're truly going to like. If you're a gear junkie, if you're a serious angler, if you want to fish big water, all these kinds of different things, don't just buy a Passport per se because it's a few $1,000s less. Wait and try to get into something that you know you're going to enjoy, because you're not going to enjoy a Passport near as much as you're going to enjoy a Pro Angler if your wants and needs are in this area and you're settling for this simply because of the price tag. I always try to tell people, wait just a little bit longer, try to save that money. Take advantage of the payment system where you can try to pay off the kayak. Do something like that. Get something that you're truly going to be happy in, because I know personally this sport has done so much for me. I see it bring a lot of people, a lot of y'all, so much joy. I can't even tell you how happy it makes me to meet some of you guys and hear that y'all got into kayak fishing, seeing my videos, and now you're addicted to it and you love it and you do it all the time. So hopefully this rundown of just the Hobie lineup and the models. I didn't do every single model. I did the really popular ones. If you guys have specific questions on any other models or any of the ones that I talked about here, please let me know. I'm gonna link all this stuff in the video, and y'all know you can always give Dugout Bait and Tackle a call, ask them any questions. They're super happy to help. Always appreciate you guys. Hopefully that helps kind of decide which way you want to go. Either way, regardless of what model or what brand you get in, make sure you're having fun out there. That's really all that's important. Appreciate y'all. Go catch them. We'll catch you next time.